to the MTR Network. We are back after a week off to discuss Black Lightning. There has been a lot that has gone into trying to record this episode. So we are going to double up this week on episodes 10 and 11. I'm your host, Shanna. I am here with the doctor.
Hola.
P. Parrish.
Hey.
And D.
Yo.
Brought to you by the letters P and D.
I know. Thank you guys for putting up with me. We have a lot to talk about. It was crazy 2 episodes, and obviously they're getting ready for the end. We have 2 more episodes before the end. Tell me what you thought about episode 10, Sins of the Father, the Book of Redemption.
LaLa's back, so.
Wait, you actually called him LaLa?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm calling him Latavius. His mama named him Latavius.
He's acting like a LaLa right now, crazy ass.
He's acting like a LaLa. I'm sorry.
What about you, D? How'd you like the episode?
It's all right. I mean, there was some. I mean, watching 10 when I did watch it, it just seemed very like, okay, so they're, setting up for something else. And then, so I'm sort of like, I had that same opinion about episode 9, but yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it's all right. I liked 11 better, but we'll get to that one in a minute.
How about you, Parrish?
So as far as 7 goes, so y'all know, like last episode, my biggest problem was with the interaction of the family. What a difference an episode makes. I felt much more comfortable with the way that they interacted with each other in this episode than the previous one. So for that by itself, like I just this was one of the better episodes for me. Also, I guess this is probably because I believe I watched Atlanta like right either before or after this episode, and so like this. The lady that was throwing the air conditioning and stuff at Black Lightning. Yeah, so I'm getting my entire life to the fact that these black ass shows are giving these like really idiosyncratic black characters. Like I just love it.
She's like, I don't think you get it, but I need the money.
Right. She's like, I'm sorry, Black Lightning, but my rent need to be paid. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, that's how it really would go down in your neighborhood.
Yeah, it's funny. So I really liked the episode, and I'm going to say that I liked it even more after watching it again. Having the time to sit back and watch it, it was even better because I noticed a lot of little things that I don't think were there or that I paid attention to on my first watch. Just little details that makes me think that the writers are a little bit smarter than I sometimes give them credit for.
It's kind of a backhanded compliment.
Well, because I think, it's been frustrating some of these episodes, and it feels like some episodes they're really on point with the character, and some episodes they're not. And we've said that the villains lately have been a lot more well-rounded and drawn out. So I just noticed some little things with like the family that I was like, oh, okay, that was thoughtful. And I don't know if that was an actor decision or a writer decision, but either way, like somebody thought to put that in there, and I didn't notice them on the first watch. So yeah, let's go by character. Because we're going to try and go through this quickly. Also, the other thing I had time to do since I got a chance to rewatch was actually Shazam all the music. And this episode had some really good music. And a lot of it happened during the LaLa scenes. But yeah, I think the music budget is back for the past couple episodes.
No, I think so. You're wrong. The music was back. The music budget was back for episode 11. The only
for
really
10
main,
as well.
Yeah, but
yeah,
who
10 was
other
okay.
than Kevin Gates? Who have you heard of?
Miguel. There was
Uh-huh.
a Miguel song in there.
Okay,
And then the
I
other
missed that.
people I haven't heard of, but the fact that they weren't God Holly means, like, to me, whenever the majority of the songs aren't him, that means the music budget is back.
Good point.
Because
Yeah, but the music budget was really back for 11. But
Yo,
that's a
leave God Holly alone,
I think
man.
for 11, they have more classic artists. Whereas for 10, they have more artists you might not have known of, but they're new artists. A show that puts me on to something new that I haven't heard before. So, let's start. I guess we'll just do. I feel like everybody and LaLa's the best.
Mm-hmm.
let's start high. So LaLa decides that he's going to continue dealing drugs, even though there's no supply of green light anymore. And he goes to his supplier, who thought he was dead, like everybody else. And he decides that he's going to give his mother up as collateral.
Ay, ay,
okay.
How do we feel about that?
Okay, so when he said that, I thought he was just being sort of kidding around. But the way the guy responded to him, like, he made him seem like that LaLa was completely serious. I'm like, why would it? I'm just trying to figure out what value does LaLa's mother have to the other dude.
I don't know if it's so much a value to the other dude, so much as like, okay, if you're willing to give me the information about your mom, knowing that I will kill her if you don't do what you're supposed to do, then you plan to do what you plan to do. I don't think that the distributor understands just probably how far gone LaLa is. Although LaLa seems pretty motivated to sell.
Yeah, he did take that. He did kill that dude that decided to get up in his face. So
he killed all to get up in his face. He killed multiple dudes.
This is true.
This is true.
Look, I know I made this argument before. I'm gonna make it again. You don't want to get into an argument with a dude you thought was dead, who now is all of a sudden shows up and is talking to himself. That's all I'm gonna say.
Talking to himself about killing the people around him.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I thought that we were going to find out that he actually gave up Will's mom, because the way he was talking so much shit to Will, Ghost Will, I thought we were going to find, like, I thought he was going to say, damn, like, you gave up your mom. And he was going to be like, actually, I gave up your mom. That would have been a really nice twist.
And
because he was talking trash shit to Will.
And perfectly in line with how he's been acting, too.
Mm-hmm.
I love that his whole response to Will was, you wouldn't be dead if you hadn't been fucking up in the first place. Not, I'm sorry for killing you. You're my family. I feel bad. But you wouldn't be dead if you hadn't fucked up.
He did the same thing to LaWanda. He's like, I told your ass to go. It's like it's everybody else's fault that you killing folks, huh? What?
I think I wrote down in my notes that his new nickname should be Death Wish, because it feels like he wants to die again. Like, I can't tell if it's a I'm invincible because I came back situation, or I want to die again. I don't care.
I feel like he's like, I've already died once, and came back. What is it to die again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good observation.
I will say that his scenes also had the best music in them.
Yeah.
He's always had the best music.
Mm-hmm. Well, because sometimes it's God, Holly. I'm gonna stop shading.
Not with LaLa.
I'm not.
Not with LaLa. LaLa has always had. I'm just thinking about going back to, like, I think it's the second episode when he was in his pimp mobile, playing 70s music. I think he's always had good music.
Don't forget when he came back, God Holly was on the street talking, trying to rap, and it was painful.
Technically, God Holly is in his crew. He's one of the boys that's in his crew.
Okay, that makes it even worse for me. How is he a part of the drug dealing crew and he's doing songs on the radio telling everybody where the green light is? I haven't forgotten about that. I haven't forgotten about that.
He's the wait, what's that dude that got put in? He's the Bobby Shmurda of Freeland.
Snitching ass. Why is he still alive?
He's like, I shot him on 106 and 8th. You can find the body. It's just telling all the secrets.
Right.
Oh my God, we're terrible people.
Best. I love him.
Yeah, I have a feeling that like after this show does its run, we're gonna realize that all of this is like told from the vantage point of God Holly as he's like in a retirement home. You know, like
no, I told you,
witness...
God Holly is the Nate Dogg of this show. We established this before. He is the Nate Dogg from Head of State of this show.
Nah, I think it's gonna end. I think it's gonna end with him in witness protection, like Goodfellas.
You were about to say something about future seasons, D.
No, I was just saying that I hope they sort of switch out God Holly for like.
I think God Holly is like Stephen Amell. He probably knows where the bodies are buried. He ain't going nowhere.
I'm telling you, man, his uncle got him that job.
Y'all are so messed up.
Look, he probably got the hookup from Stephen Amell. This is probably all Stephen Amell's fucking fault.
I don't leave that man alone.
Look, he's talking about, I want to be on Black Light. I think they should cross up. No, Stephen, they should not.
Yeah, he needs to leave this show alone. That's what needs to happen.
Let him just be white and presumptuous. That's what he's good at. He's just off being him, like all other white people. Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick summary. Anything else on LaLa?
From both episodes or just the first one?
From just the first one. He wasn't in the second one. Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna do a quick summary of what happened with the family, and then we'll get into what you guys thought. So, Anissa decides that she's, going to do some reconnaissance. She finds the kids that Gambi reconnaissance. She finds the kids that Gambi was looking had given up to the ASA, and instead of jumping in head first, she actually smartly decides not to do all that. She decides they're going to actually like investigate and figure out the best thing. So it was like wonderful, and then immediately sets it back when Jefferson asked her to keep an eye on Jennifer, and she started pulling her Harriet Tubman routine on Jennifer and being all self-righteous about being a superhero.
Oh, no, she wasn't being self-righteous about being a superhero. She was being a bitch trying to guilt Jennifer into, because she didn't want to be a superhero, talking trash like, oh, you gave up on Khalil. I'm like, first of all, little girl, you don't know all the facts. Second of all, little girl, you are not the I wanted to.
Yeah, I was waiting for another superhero battle to occur in that. I
needed Jennifer to just go ahead and electrocute her. She pissed me off so bad.
So my little thing that I noticed on my second watch of it is when Jennifer is about to go off and she sees her eyes light up, Anissa, I don't know if this was an actor choice. I don't know if it was written in the script. I don't know if it was a directorial choice. But Anissa does one of those breaths.
Yeah, I did see it.
So I think she realized, she realized like it was about to go down, and she was like, just in case, let me brace myself.
Because she was let me have it. Mm-hmm. And I remember being on the floor in my mama's medical facility crying out because my daddy handed me my ass like, oh, daddy, exactly. Why, daddy, why?
She did not want to repeat. She did not want to catch them hands.
I hope that the theme for this show isn't Anissa writing checks her ass can't cash.
No, that's absolutely the theme for the show.
I feel like it's the least theme for her character.
Checks her ass can't cash.
Yeah, I thought of it. Okay.
For her little booty.
Yeah. As long as we get that in there.
So Jennifer is going through all of this, and Jefferson actually comes in really nice, gives her the whole like, daddy comfort. That was really sweet. But then, again, upon rewatch, I had a little bit of problem with Jennifer at the end of the show.
Why?
Yeah.
The way she reacted when they had to move into the granddad's house to be safe, and it was the way she was talking about the house. Like, ew, why did you keep this? Ew, it's dusty. And like at the same time, and this is like, wait, this is the house you grew up in. This is the house where your dad died. So like, he's clearly being affected by this, and it's clearly like probably one of the first times he's been back in this house for years. And Jennifer's being a little bitch about it.
Okay, I just chalked it up as teenagers.
She's being a teenager.
Thank you. Shanna, we've been talking for the last couple of days. You know, this is absolutely a teenager.
Yeah, it's just teenagers being assholes. I just kind of dismissed that whole thing.
Okay, y'all are all nicer than me because I would have wolfed that little girl's ass.
I know it's not about being nice because
Exactly.
it's bullshit, but it is a teenager thing.
Look, right. Parenthood is not a sprint; it's a marathon.
And you know, you can't grip them up like you want to. You just, there's laws now, so
you fight the battles that you fight, and then you let some of that other stuff go because you ain't gonna make it otherwise.
No.
I'm sorry, I had a big issue with that. I was like, Jennifer needs to calm down. Like, we get it. Your life is ruined. You're like, you watched his daddy die in this house. Calm your shit.
But again, remind myself that this is a girl who has been repeatedly traumatized and no one has gotten her any kind of help.
Right.
Wait, does she know that her grandfather died in that house? I
feel like the entire family knows that.
Anissa literally says in that scene, wait, is this where granddad died? And Jennifer still acts like a little bitch.
I would like to see the black ass look on this show, like once, when one of these two young ladies says the wrong thing and they just look at her.
No, that's the thing. Lynn gives it to her. Lynn's like, young lady. But she still goes on. And I was like, see, you would have got maybe one young lady before you would have got backhanded by my mom.
See, okay, now I question like the whole, okay. Cause see, I could not have gotten a look and not stopped what I was doing. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. And again, the only reason I pointed out is because Anissa, y'all know how she has a tendency to overact. And she says really loudly, like, Dad, is this where Granddad died? Like it's so extra.
All right, but to be fair,
so that brings up a question. That brings up a question I've got. If we're doing an equation and we have China, how many greater signs between China and Nefessa in terms of acting? How many greater than signs in terms of acting between China and Nefessa?
I think it's just been really uneven. I personally think that Jennifer has been getting better and definitely more interesting as the episodes have gone on.
But who do you think's the better actress?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think China has been getting better each episode, and her story has gotten more interesting. I can't tell if it's that her lines are being written really bad. I can't tell if it's the directing.
Yeah, I think it's
she wasn't this way in the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's the writing versus the acting, and I don't know that we can tell that. I certainly can't because I don't think I've seen her in anything other than Black Lightning. So I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I think somebody looked it up. She really hasn't been in much before this, Nefessa anyway. And then, China's been in a ton of stuff, but like since she was a child actor. So, Jefferson and Lynn / Jefferson and Gambi. Gambi gets hemmed up by the ASA because they're trying to figure out what he knows about Black Lightning. So he gets his whole entire ass beat. and and then they come grab Jefferson, and because they want to use Jefferson to threaten Gambi. They don't even realize that he's Black Lightning, and then Jefferson saves Gambi, and they kind of have their, father son, you always try to protect me moment. The thing I noticed again on the second watch was the whole thing about the spotter. They really set you up to think that it's someone else, which I really kind of liked in terms of the writing. They give you the hint about Two Bits, where Jefferson says, Two Bits knows everything that happens. He's been watching everything since he was a teenager. And then also with Malik, the little boy, because he's kind of just he's the lookout. Mm-hmm. So they kind of set you up with these two other people as a deflection over who it ends up being in the end, which I thought was kind of good writing.
Good writing. I just didn't buy the deflection. I mean, the way we've seen Two Bits portrayed, I don't see spotter in him. He's a bit too. He doesn't seem too sure of him. I don't know. It's something about Two Bits that I didn't think, even though they were trying to make us think, oh, maybe you might want to look at. No, I just didn't buy it.
Well, they paralleled him with Gambi in the sense that you see him in the beginning kind of watching everything that happens on the street, and then when they grab that little girl, he kind of immediately runs to Jefferson. So they were definitely trying to set up something to give you a red herring.
I guess it's just the Two Bits character. I don't know if they tried it with somebody else. I don't know who that person would be, but just not Two Bits.
I like Two Bits.
I might have bought.
So do I.
I'm saying I like his character. I just don't. What I don't like is what I didn't buy was them trying to make us think that he's the spotter. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
I didn't think they were trying to make us think he was a spotter.
Neither did I.
Okay.
He was on the corner trying to follow Black Lightning's rule of not selling drugs. Selling, what was he selling?
Everything else.
He was selling baby clothes.
No, he said, I got your baby clothes. I got your DVDs. I got them good videos.
I never got the impression that they were trying to make us believe. I mean, no.
I don't know. To me, it felt like they were definitely trying to give you. I don't think from the beginning, but I think what was supposed to happen, because Gambi doesn't mention the spotter thing until the very end. So I think they gave you these options, and then in the end, when Gambi mentions the spotter, I think your mind is supposed to think, well, who do I think it would be? And they've already kind of set up these two people who are clearly lookouts and keep eye on everything that's happening. So it's supposed to just kind of be a moment of did the vice principal ever come to your mind?
Yeah, but I've been feeling like she's been suspect from jump.
You
the spotter, when Gambi said, look for the spotter, you thought the vice principal that we haven't seen for 3 episodes?
I did. Just because we hadn't seen it for 3 episodes. But the point is, I never thought it was this, because it made no sense. If he's a spotter, why is he in Black Lightning's face telling them that a kid just got pulled? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make sense. So it was never a logical leap for me to ever even suspect him. Yeah. But, I mean, because we hadn't seen her in a few weeks, and that hair is suspect. Yeah, I figured it was probably her. Because he said it's somebody close somebody embedded, and everyone that's getting snatched are kids at the high school.
I thought the vice principal, if she was going to be involved, was definitely going to try and take Jefferson's job. I did not think that she was going to be involved in anything regarding powers. That's just me.
Can't trust her. That hair, you can't trust that hair.
My other question was, did you think that the vice principal wanted Bernard expelled so that the ASA could grab him? Yeah. Because remember, she was fighting to have him expelled.
I feel like she was. Because I'm wondering if she thought that explosion, that all that super strength that he was displaying was a meta power.
Mm-hmm.
can we rewind back to the conversation that Jefferson and Jennifer had? Because that was the conversation that Jennifer should have had with her mother.
Which one?
When
Like
he comes
what?
in and comforts his daughter and says, "You will
Oh,
have,
yeah.
you will have the life that you want to have, not the one that Anissa wants you to have, not the one that your mom wants you to have, not the one I want you to have, but the one you want to." Like, that is how you handle that situation.
Yeah.
Like, it was that easy.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and it's weird to me because, again, they always position Lynn as this person who's very anti this whole superhero thing. But then when it comes to, like, she also treats it like it's a big experiment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, she was so excited, like, she's so like, ooh, like, get into the thing and, like, let me. But, like, at no point, apparently, did she have the conversation, like you said, with Jennifer, where she was just comforting her like a mom.
Right.
So it's like either you're like being a disciplinarian or you're being a scientist. Like, when are you being a mom? And I don't know, maybe it could also be, I feel that Jefferson and Jennifer have that kind of like daddy-daughter relationship, and it feels like Lynn is closer to Anissa.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Plus, I was also thinking when it comes to powers, Lynn just kind of shuts down and she goes into solver, discovery, researcher mode because I don't think she can handle the fear and the feelings that comes with acknowledging that she has, in her entire family, basically, are powered beings who are essentially targets.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easier to approach it from a research standpoint than to acknowledge the fact that she's truly terrified of what this means.
Yeah.
And I think it's easier too with Anissa, in the sense that with Anissa, because she has that whole Harriet thing,
Mm-hmm.
she knows exactly what she wants to do. And, like, by the time Anissa came to them, or like by the time they found out about Anissa's powers, she already had kind of digested it and decided what she was going to do with her powers. Jennifer is in a completely different place where she like, I just found out yesterday and then y'all told me y'all are superheroes.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, Anissa's kind of self-sureness is probably a lot easier for Lynn to deal with.
Yeah.
They're more like, and parents say they don't have a favorite, but they clearly have a favorite.
Oh, I won't dispute that.
There's a child that is it what it comes down to is I hate the word favorite. I feel like there's a child you sometimes can connect to easily.
Exactly. I think you said it exactly. Yeah, that's the right way to put it. There are some kids you relate to better than the other ones. It's not that you're playing favorite, so so to speak, but you just relate better to one child than you do the others.
Yeah.
I just sort of wondered, why am I relating to this particular child more so than that particular child?
Because I think you see some of yourself in that child.
Bingo.
Some of the experiences, some of your childhood, some of your ways and expressions. You just see yourself a little bit more in the kid that you're connected to.
Yeah, then you see some of those things, you're like, damn, was I like that?
That's part of it.
And then you're like, yeah.
One kid is easier than the other. Let's just be honest. Sometimes that's an issue too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else with this episode before we move on to episode 11?
That forgiveness, the forgiveness, I felt like, well, it wasn't really forgiveness. It was more a softening of Jefferson towards Gambi, since, Gambi took that ass whipping for him. And I'm actually kind of glad we didn't get to record last week, because last week when we were trying to record, I was like, this seems off that Jefferson is like, oh, you took this ass whipping, you're forgiven. Whereas in this week's episode, it was clear. It's like, it's not that I forgive you. I don't know that I can, but I know you're not my enemy. So we just got to figure out what this means moving forward. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I was kind of holding on to this one, because definitely episode 11, I was like, okay, this feels right. This feels like what it's supposed to be, because I'm really, really surprised that Jefferson quote unquote forgave Gambi, and then you see him still acting petty as hell, and I'm like, oh, he hasn't forgiven the goddamn thing.
But I get the impression that this will resolve itself the way that families often do. I mean, like the last scene in 11, you know, you get the impression that, like, yeah, I may not mess with you right now, but like the reality is eventually I'm going to have to come to terms with the fact that you're family, and we're just going to have to work it out. And that's where we were headed in that episode.
Right. Basically, I'm still hurt that you're the reason. I feel like you're the reason my father's dead, but I can't deny that everything you've done since then has helped me and my family.
Right.
So I can't hold this grudge, because even now, when I pushed you away, you still did things to help my family.
Right. You are family. You know, I may not have agreed with what you did, but I mean, you know, I can't dispute it. You know, you still look out for the family. You are family.
Right.
Okay.
He did take an ass whipping. He did take an ass whipping for the ages, by the way.
Listen, his eye was fucked up.
Yeah, man. Yo, he looked like he was wearing a face mask.
Okay, so that brings me to my favorite part of episode 11, or one of my favorite parts. They gave Anissa actual medical terms. Somebody didn't just like put in there Anissa yada yada yada's medicine. She
swear.
like the actual medical term, and I was like, good job, Anissa.
Yeah, and you know what? I had a personal connection to that scene because I was raised by a surgeon, and like, yeah, my father would just like throw out medical terms like that. I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
Like she could just say black eye.
If that's what I got, that's what I got. Okay.
Except to be fair, that was way more than a black eye.
Well, I assume
like, is he gonna be blind in that
for black eye?
I'm like, is he gonna be blind in that eye?
I can't with y'all. Yo, he got fucked up.
He really did.
Oh, Jesus.
He really did. Yeah. Anissa, her medical term. Yeah, Gambi was he looked so frail. He was so frail. I was like, oh, poor Gambi. It really worked him over.
Oh, he caught those hands.
But I was also really happy that him and Jefferson are back in love with each other.
Yes, my ship lives.
Continue our love triangle.
There's something satisfying about when a bromance works itself out, huh?
Mm-hmm. My complaint from this episode, Jennifer's hair. Who decided to stop doing it?
Can we talk about the CW wig budget for both Jennifer and Amaya on Legends of Tomorrow? Who did they piss off?
Because who did they anger? Because I feel like the first 5 episodes, Jennifer's hair was on point every episode, right? Like one point she had buns. She was rocking braids in one episode. I was like, oh, Jennifer, she keeps it tight and cute. And then these past 2 episodes, I feel like somebody just gave her like a wet and wavy sew-in and decided not to brush it.
And look, I know I'm slipping into Legends territory, but on Legends of Tomorrow, it looked like they just got a wig from the corner store and said, here, put this on. What? Who you pissed off?
What? No, the Amaya thing is disgraceful because not only does it look cheap and bad, but it changes every week. It's not the same wig.
It is not the same wig.
Like, they're like, oh, I guess this week we need a wig with a side part. Let's just walk up the block and get whatever they got on sale at the hair store.
Looking like an S curl. Come on.
This is how bad it is on Legends, that I went to the actress's Instagram to see if maybe she had to like cut her hair for a role or something like that. And I was like, maybe she had to like cut and dye it for something else. And so they had to put these wigs on her or something like that. No, her hair looks perfectly fine. I don't know why they hate her.
Oh Lord.
So this has been a hair cast.
Maybe they should get Bill Mackey's hairstylist from that last season of Doctor Who, because that would have been very much helpful.
Literally anyone. Like, don't they film in Atlanta? You telling me Shamika? You know she got a chair in her house.
Really?
Yo, I forgot about that. Yeah, that is inexcusable.
It's like the way they be doing my girl Deny. Like, they don't film in Atlanta either. There are black people around who can do hair.
Yo,
and let's be honest, during the zombie apocalypse, she would have been done shaved that.
Mm-hmm. Just got tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, I just need to vent about that hair. It's like it's one of the 2 notes that I have about Jennifer for this episode. Sorry. I did I think she's getting better and better. I loved her acting this episode. When she bust out crying. I thought it was lovely.
Yeah.
A tad coarse, but not bad.
I did appreciate how Jefferson was talking in the midst of his unjust arrest. Was talking every 5 steps. I'm like, they trying to rush him out, and he talking folks down like, okay, I'm not trying to get a shot. I'm like, he is just always on in terms of being principal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jefferson ain't gonna give an expiring speech. He always gonna take the moment.
I mean, and you had your kids blocking the door, including your token white ally kid.
Okay, am I the only one that was surprised to see white people actually go to that school for some reason?
You were not.
That surprised me.
I'm like, dang, y'all ain't moved out the neighborhood yet?
I feel like no matter how public school I went to, I grew up in Brooklyn. No matter how public school, whatever, mostly Black and Latino, there was always some white kids. There wasn't a lot of them, but there were always like
1 or 2.
At least, a couple per grade. And then this is obviously like a nicer, it's like a public charter or something like that. There's probably a couple. Yes, white people have privilege, but not all of them can afford to go to
exactly. Exactly. They were the ones that couldn't afford to lead a neighborhood.
Yeah. Or they're the ones with like the hippie parents who are like, we went to public school and our kids are just going to be regular kids and we're going to put them in school and make sure it's diverse. You have those kids.
Mm-hmm. Yo, I was really waiting for somebody to say, we don't want a good principal. We want Jefferson. Pierce. We want Mr. Pierce. I mean, it just seemed like they needed to have that scene there.
What did y'all think of young Neo?
Oh yeah, Tavon. I liked him.
Wait, who?
Tavon, the kid that was
young Neo.
The kid that was leading the charge, trying to block the door.
Oh, I was about to say I really like that kid because I loved his check-in. He was like, I want to thank the people on the bus for getting me here on time. Okay, first of all, that feels like something one of my students would say. So I was like, I feel like I've probably heard that check-in before.
Look, all I know is when they were going through Jefferson's car, and he was like, damn, they're going through your car. He's like, language. Okay, darn, but they
steal your car.
I was surprised Jefferson didn't go out right then.
Well, what cracked me up about him, like, Jefferson, priorities. Yes, he used language, but dude, why are the police searching your car?
Exactly. That was my thing. It's like, somebody started searching my car. First of all, where's your warrant?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't you have to talk to me before you just start going through stuff? I would have already been outside screaming on people.
Yeah, see, you got shot too.
Totally different situation. Oh, that takes me to my favorite thing about this was the whole Jefferson getting arrested scene. Okay. All the way through him getting processed.
Look, and the fact that we knew what was happening when his eyes glowed when they told him to bend over, I'm like, okay.
The thing I loved about it is that this is a classic vigilante superhero storyline. This always happens where the hero gets arrested. You have someone else has to put on the suit, or someone else has to, deflect so that their secret identity doesn't get out. But it's so grounded in the fact that he's a Black man.
Right.
Yes.
And we do not see this when Oliver gets arrested for the umpteenth time. Or when Barry was like arrested for murder. We didn't watch Barry get fingerprinted and processed. And you would think that they would do that because he works with the cops. So you think it would be actually very compelling to watch him have to be processed by the people that he works with.
Mm-hmm.
But they never do that with the white superhero. So I love that they really grounded it in the fact that he's a Black man. This is dehumanizing. Mm-hmm. And he's getting treated worse than everybody.
Am I the only one that found a certain amount of joy in the dirty cops being white instead of Black?
I just assumed they're, but I was just also like, all the cops ain't shit in Freeland. I was like, is there one cop other than Henderson who is shit in this town? Like, come on now.
And let's be honest,
Henderson had that.
Was sort of the line of being not dirty but useless, so kind of ain't shit in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Keep telling y'all,
but he did have the best line this episode, though.
I'm
still trying to figure out what it means, but the best line.
That line was dumb as shit. Okay, so let's get funny. Everybody's been quoting that line, and so he's talking to this dirty cop. And he talking about you gotta bring ass to get ass. I'm like, that sounds like an invitation to have sex. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I didn't understand that line either.
I honestly missed the line, and everybody was quoting it, and I was like, I don't know what you guys are referring to.
Yeah, see, I've been off Twitter more or less today, so I mean, I didn't even know people were using that line. I didn't get it.
It was the dumbest line ever. It made no sense.
They were using it non-ironically?
Yeah, I don't know about the people online. I'm talking about in show. It didn't make sense.
No, it didn't.
Never. You got to bring ass to get ass. Never forget that.
Like, I forgot it when you said it, dog, but okay.
It just made no sense.
It was so bad. It was hilarious.
I was like, I don't even... It's just I saw that quote going around, and then people were like, I can't believe Henderson said that, and I was like, what? And then when you told me the context of it, because I didn't have time to go back and rewatch the scene. When you told me the context of it, I was like, what does that mean?
Right.
I don't even get it. That's not a thing. What?
But you know what? Okay. That becomes like a symbol of the entire show. Like, you get some amazing writing, then it's punctuated by, okay, why did they do this, and what the fuck does it mean?
Right.
Absolutely nothing.
I kind of wish this episode had happened 2 weeks ago, so Shanna could have asked them about it when she went to the car.
Oh my gosh. I'll talk about some of the stuff that I found out that was interesting. The biggest thing was, remember that Charlottesville episode with the statue and all that other stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That we were kind of like, ooh, like this feels too soon, and wow, they kind of rushed through that and da-da-da-da. So actually they wrote and shot that episode 2 weeks before it happened.
Oh.
So Charlottesville hadn't even happened.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is
because they've been filming this since I think pretty much the whole season was done by the time it debuted. So they had already done it. So they were like, yeah, we didn't. I was like, oh, that episode was really interesting, and kind of ripped from the headlines, and they were like, no, at the time, we didn't know about it.
How weird was that how weird was that for them to then witness it happen real time? You know what I mean?
That's nutty.
That's insane.
Yeah. I was like, and made me feel a little bit bad about how much we kind of dogged them out for that.
Really did shit on that one.
Yeah.
I was Just a little bit. We didn't know. Yeah, so like, I mean, there was some interesting stuff. I'm gonna release some of that stuff soon. But there was some interesting stuff that I got from that, and it was just the writers and it was Salim. So yeah, it was interesting getting to talk to the people because the writers are actually based in LA, and the show is based in Atlanta. So there's also like a little bit of a disconnect too, and that's why I wonder if some of these choices are directorial issues. Since because I know usually what happens in that case is that whoever wrote the episode will go out and be on set, but I don't know if that was what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe the writer did write science stuff expecting somebody to add some actual science stuff. Between LA and Atlanta, it just got lost.
Got lost in transit.
Pretty much. So a lot of the episode actually centers on McThirsty, who you're so right. It's not just the haircut though. I really feel like we should have just known she was gonna be a real villain because them outfits.
Those are not Principal high school outfits.
Yeah, I don't know why you walking around a daggone school with like your whole boobs cut out the front.
Well, honestly, it wasn't even that. Just the cut and the style. That's more corporate than
I can't with her. Yeah. Like I was like my note was that you would say that she just got her like new villain outfits, but she was dressing like a thought before. So
Shanna.
Why y'all hating on her?
No, I'm not hating on her. I just feel like her outfits are more appropriate for the corporate world because honestly, with some of the stuff you have to do in a school, I'm not saying you can't be cute, but you also got to be functional. And her outfits are not functional for the educational setting, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, I like that she realized that, I like that she clearly...
she's not a killer.
She's not a killer, and also she cares about Jefferson. She doesn't think that Jefferson is Black Lightning. So she cares about him and what happens to him. I just do kind of wish that they had kept her not involved in the superpowers. And not because I think for me what I wanted is I think it's more interesting when superheroes also have things in their real lives that are obstacles.
Yes.
And so I think it would have been a lot more interesting if she was trying to take his job just because she wanted to take his job. Like, like that's a real thing. Like, then it becomes like, hey, so I'm out here superheroing, but I also got to make sure that I stay on my P's and Q's as a principal because somebody's out here trying to take my job. Right. Like those are two things that are both equally interesting.
That's true. Kind of like I think it was season 3 of Flash with between Julian and Barry.
Yes.
It's that position.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's like that tension of like I got to do the superhero thing, but then my like real life thing starts falling apart, and now I got to like take care of my real life thing. But then the superheroing starts falling apart. Like that to me is just as interesting. So I kind of didn't need her to be like a super secret ASA spy. Also, like, girl, why are you giving up the babies? Like, I want to know her backstory now. What happened to you that you out here giving up the babies to the white man?
Who hurt you, boo?
Exactly.
To the racist white man.
Exactly. Like the openly racist white man. We just go and hand over the babies to the openly racist white man and it's all good. Like, I really want to know your backstory. I mean, we know why Tobias hates Black people.
And that's, I think,
what's your excuse?
And I've been trying to figure, so I think that's a good point. I've been trying to figure out what it was that just didn't connect for me with that whole like change of conscience and he's not Black Lightning and all of that. It's the fact that like you said, she's giving up the kids to the most racist dude ever. Like, I mean, if you're using that as
I feel like her change of heart though is selfishly motivated.
Oh, it absolutely is. But it's like if
I
you,
don't think she care about these kids, but she want to get into Black Lightning's pants.
but even still, it's like I don't know. I just don't think that even if it's, I mean, if there's a debate between whether it's selfishly motivated or if it's you want to make this character human or redeemable in some way, it just doesn't work when you think about the gravity of what she's actually doing.
Oh yeah, I never thought it was. If they do redeem her, I will definitely, and I'm going to wait to see what happens. I'm going to have a problem if they try to use that as a redemptive piece, because her trying to save Black Lightning because she like him is not redemptive,
Right?
Given that he's giving away minor children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there. I'm sorry. Unless she get her butt kicked like Anissa, and we get one of them like moments.
Why?
Exactly. She's not gonna be redeemed in my eyes anytime soon.
Oh, you know what it reminded me of? Now that we keep coming back to it. That photo array of one of the Kardashian sisters' little girls who got hit by the car. It's like 4 panels of that baby falling to the ground, looking at her mom like, "Why, mama? Why?"
Have y'all seen this picture?
No, I missed all of this.
No.
Courtney's daughter, Penelope Disick, and it's like clearly like she's standing by the car door, and somebody opens the car door and hits this baby in the face, and the way she falls to the ground, like the paparazzi caught like each second.
I found it. I found it. I'm gonna send it to y'all.
Y'all ain't shit. Y'all making me laugh. Y'all ain't shit.
4 years old. Oh my god! Oh, I need somebody to be like put.
Oh my god! There's a video. There's a video.
Oh my god!
I have no idea what y'all are talking about. I'm like, okay.
It is the best. It is one of my absolute favorite moments ever captured by paparazzi.
Why is all these videos?
Y'all gonna have to send this to me because
it's great. It's greatness.
Here it is. I found it. God,
and then, so that was my thought too when I realized that somebody else was gonna have to put on the suit to like prove to the vice principal that it wasn't Jefferson. I was like, where they gonna find another 6'7" nigga to put the suit on? Like, it's not like when Diggle pretends to be Arrow.
Which still don't look right.
And see, y'all were clowning me for saying that, right? Y'all were clowning me for saying that a few episodes ago.
No, that's what I immediately thought of you. I was like, where they gonna find another 6'7" nigga to put this in? Like, I thought he was gonna tell Henderson, and then Henderson was going to have to.
Not just a tall, not just a tall nigga. Not just a tall nigga, but a tall, big nigga. Okay.
Oh, I put it in the group chat.
I just saw it, and I hate both of you.
There is a GIF. So
I hate y'all. Yo.
Knock that baby out. Oh my god.
I hate y'all so much.
y'all need to foul. It is funny, but y'all are foul.
Pavement, her nanny quickly sprung to action. They let that baby hit the pavement though. And then it says, as for her mom, she was busy getting herself into the car first. She didn't even stop to help her baby. She got the car.
That is officially the show art.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
Y'all done already,
the show.
y'all done already caught me a couple of times with these damn episodes when y'all slept something in there that I wasn't expecting at work. Now I'm gonna come into work and I'm gonna run my feed and I'm gonna see this image and I'm just gonna be all the way out.
You gotta make that the show art.
It'd be like was good. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to hell.
Oh my god.
Oh, my chest hurts. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god. Also, this is the other thing that made me laugh. My favorite thing about this episode: who is doing all these man on the street interviews? Freeland, it's not a news story that passed by in Freeland where they don't ask at least 10 people on the street their opinion about what's going on.
Like, does anybody in this town ever get to where the hell they're supposed to be going?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that happens a lot in comics that just doesn't translate in real life.
I love it. It's like everything. And I think I said, who's doing all these man on the street interviews? And then like the next scene was like, we take you to our on the street reporter. I can't even remember what name they gave the fake reporter. But I was like, is this all he does? He just walks around and gets
just getting random people's opinions about shit.
And they honestly don't know. It could change at any moment.
Can we talk about the fact that in all these men on the street interviews, you never catch somebody in their house robe and rollers? That's given where the show is set. I'm sorry.
That's racist.
I seen the whole thing.
I love the old white lady. Like everybody else is like, you know. You're like
complaints about black Jesus.
like he helped my niece get through school. He's always stood by the community. He loved the kids. And then the white lady's like, he makes people call him Black Jesus. I just think that's really messed up.
53%, y'all. 53%.
I was like, she sounds like she has literally known 0 people who have gone to this school, but one day she heard somebody call him Black. Like, he makes people
she don't know nobody that went to that school.
Right.
It's like, where is she getting her information? Oh my gosh. And then of course the other dude over here thirsting over thunder in front of his girlfriend.
Oh my god, so rude.
Yeah, but now you got that fine ass woman to walk around with.
And that was kind of creepy too, because clearly people don't know that that's his daughter.
Right.
It's like I think this is just people being creepy. But when I was like a teenager, like me and my dad would like go to amusement parks or and like we'd be like walking around and be like, oh, want to get your lady like some flowers and stuff. I'm like, he is my father. Please stop. Like, so I just imagine that Anissa is watching these man on the street interviews like, ew, people think I'm dating my dad.
Right.
Right.
It's so creepy. And on top of it, she's gay. She's like, ew.
Right.
It's like, where's Grace when I need her?
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Donald Trump Ivanka joke here.
Oh yeah.
That is he who will not be named.
Let's
not be named.
all be happy that Jefferson is not that type of dad.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow, that was some good laughs. I actually have a headache.
My stomach is real tight right now.
Oh gosh. Music was really good. We got Funkadelic, Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, which, rest in peace, Sharon Jones, Bob Marley, and Sean Kuti. I was so excited when the Sean Kuti song hit. Oh, that was everything. I was like, yes, hit me with this Afro beat right now.
Exactly. Yo, I heard the beat and I was like, oh shit. They go, oh man.
I was like, and she started running and I was like, hey, I was like getting it. I was like, yes. And the name of the song is Struggle Sounds. I was like, Is there not a more aptly titled song when it comes to Anissa?
Ma'am.
I'm horrible. I admit that I'm not shit. Because now I'm just making fun of the poor girl.
So we're just going to ignore St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
Which one was that?
Okay, that sounds about right. It was the last one, actually.
I probably stopped Shazamming by then. No, I knew I missed
I'd
that. I had number 5.
I'd never heard of them then. Yeah, they were all songs. And they were when the Suit Man and Jefferson
Wait,
were
you just said you never heard of him. Why are you talking like we supposed to have heard of him?
I was not trying to be. I wasn't trying. Look, I wasn't trying to be. Right. I was trying to make a joke that really failed. Because I haven't heard of him. I mean, y'all were going on. Oh yeah, we got.
Well, because I knew all the other. I knew all the other artists.
I know all the other 4 are too. And then the random St. Paul and the Broken Bones. I never heard. I had to look them up. Like who?
You know what I really liked also from episode 10 was that it was Mick Jenkins Drowning. That song was really, I've never heard of that before either, but it was the song where the little girl got gripped up in the beginning of the episode. It was just the vocals on that were really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, one of the writers that I was talking to at WonderCon, he was like, yeah, like me and my wife, we were watching it together and we're looking up the songs and like singing along. Like even the writers are impressed by the music in the show. My question that they didn't answer or they didn't really give a reason for that I saw, why are the pods failing all of a sudden? Do you think it's because they're moving them around a lot or is something happening to the kids?
That's what they said. They said they transported them twice in season 2. So if you basically you're disconnecting them and I'm guessing they're hooking them up to a less powerful source of power.
Right.
But then when Black Lightning came across, they had to move them again. And that was too soon.
Okay. Because I was just like, why are these pods failing all of a sudden? They've had these kids on ice for like 30 years. Like, why is it all breaking down all of a sudden? And like, do they just die?
Well, from what happened with the scientist checking the one, yeah. And she was saying, she was at risk of losing a couple, which would put her under quota.
Yeah, I like how she has a fucking quota of babies that she needs to get.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Then I'm not. My question was going to be: so what happens when she makes her quota?
That's the other thing I'm
wondering. More
too.
inappropriate dresses to wear.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like it seems like they've had some of these kids in these tanks for 30 years and they haven't done anything with them. So what is the plan?
Well, and since that scientist, I'm wondering if it's going to come out that they are like pulling DNA and trying to see how this stuff developed. Because that scientist that was checking, the scientist that was trying to keep the one alive and couldn't, I got the sense that he's doing research. Because you want to create a weapon, but you don't want to create all these black weapons, is what I feel like.
Right. Yeah.
Or like maybe, what if they're gonna find out that like it's only black people's DNA?
We in trouble.
Like it's something special about us. Like that's why the green light reacts differently with ours.
That's that comic book Black.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Which I only read like 2 issues of, and maybe I'll give it another try. But
they have an offshoot comic. It's called Black as Fuck.
Is that
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's called Black AF, and it's the main character in that one is a girl. It's like a spin-off comic.
Girl, I thought you was cracking a joke. I'm like, what?
No, it's like very much so serious. I saw it in the comic book shop the other day. I almost bought it. Anything else?
Okay, so
Henderson taking down the dirty cops.
Oh,
do you feel better about Henderson now, Doc?
Hell no.
No, I still think he's incompetent.
You're not good at his job. The fact that he got a promotion, you sat in that department knowing them motherfuckers was dirty for how long, and now all of a sudden, like, I'm gonna do the right thing. Where were you all them?
You can't see my face, but I'm nodding vigorously. Mm-hmm.
Fuck Henderson.
I keep telling
That's
y'all.
exactly how I feel.
I keep telling y'all, Henderson is about 2 years away from retirement.
He's like, I'm too old for this shit.
Right. I mean, I thought about it. He took the promotion because that ups his pension, right? That was entirely the reason why he did it.
He ups his pension. You're horrible.
He's like, yo, I'm gonna get out. I'll be living large when I retire.
That's so messed up. If he don't end up dead, because you know how that works.
He needs to end up dead.
Yeah, because I'm like, but you also know, and anytime a black cop on a television show is about to retire.
I mean, he called the shot though. If anything happens to me, tell my family. He's gonna die.
Oh, you put on the Martin Luther King voice.
Because he looks like him.
He
gonna die, yo.
Oh my god. He was so useless. He was literally like, he walks in and he's like, Lynn. He's like, I'll handle this. And I love when he goes, do you trust me? And Lynn says,
no.
That was
so
great.
Real.
That was great.
No.
Lynn hates shit. She don't like none of that.
Because that really puts that dinner in perspective. Like, she was sitting there with that glass of wine, just looking at him like, this motherfucker. I hate his ass.
I can get away with stabbing him in the face, I would.
just sitting there sucking her teeth.
Lynn did not care about Vice Principal McThirsty. None of the women in Jefferson's life even register to her. She's over here scared to death about Jefferson's boyfriends. The only people she feels intimidated by.
She hates his entire social circle, man. That is crazy.
Oh my gosh. I love Lynn so much. I really do. She came in with that fur coat on, ready to tell everybody, then told on herself, actually, I'm his ex-wife. Bitch.
I can help you. And she was all indignant. I'm like, you should have stuck with the story. It's not like your driver's license says you ain't married to him. You could at least got your ass in the door.
Oh, she's the worst.
But we got to go back though. So one of the other things I really appreciated, I think it was episode 10, was when Jefferson was talking about how he could see through things now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just a little, yeah. Like I said,
that chemistry was like, okay.
So much chemistry. They're so cute.
I wonder, and again, I mean, I think people are going to listen to these episodes and think that I'm being critical of the show because I don't like it. But nothing could be farther from the truth because I'm still watching it. But I wonder if this season would have benefited from a shorter season.
Shorter than 13?
Yeah, maybe 8.
Really?
I'm just thinking because we've had a number of episodes. I mean, it's all clearly coming together now. Like I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed both of these episodes. But the kind of conversations that we've had about previous episodes, it just feels like maybe this could have been a shorter season, could have been tighter. I don't know.
I think it's
episodes, but shorter season, perhaps.
No, I just think that the writing could have been tighter because it was very tight in the beginning,
right?
So I don't think it's the amount. I think they just didn't I just think they fell off at some point.
Yeah, because it started off. It was hitting us like, when the show first kicked off, it was really hitting us, and then we had this slump in the middle. It was like,
it felt like one of those Netflix rhythms, Yeah.
The
Marvel shows.
I think the issue is that they were trying to get to certain plot points, and rather than letting their characters that they had built up in those first few episodes take them to those plot points, they were instead trying to push the characters where they wanted them to go.
Yeah.
And so that was it, where it was like, okay, by episode 7, we need Jennifer to discover her powers. So we're going to have her like go through all these like weird, crazy things that are against everything that we totally set up for her in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Or like I don't know what happened with the Khalil thing. Did he just fall off?
I was just about to say that.
So that's one of the problems I've had with this show. The appearance of the side characters is uneven.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't mind them, coming in and out, but it's like LaLa, you're like, oh wait, he's back, and then Henderson, Thotty, just like they're just so you just like almost forget that they exist, and then it's just I kind of wish they'd be a little bit more even with how they're treating, how they affect, I guess, the overall storyline.
I think they do this sometimes on CW shows where it feels like they're building up a particular character or a particular story arc, but then they don't want it to happen until later in the season. So you're getting all this character build up and story arc, and then it's like, well, let's just not have the character around for a couple episodes because we don't want that to happen until later. So that's what it felt like with Khalil. Like they were building him up to something and then he just disappeared. And then same thing. And like with LaLa, they kind of just killed him, which I thought was cool because I was like, oh shit, like we just gonna keep,
every week somebody
leveling. Exactly. We just gonna keep leveling up. But then they brought him back, which I don't mind because now I don't know what the hell is gonna happen with him. But at the same time, it's also like we got 2 more episodes. Where are we going?
Yeah.
I mean, we still have to figure out. Okay, Tobias, got to worry about him. We got to worry about LaLa. We got to worry about Khalil. Got to worry about Principal Thotty, who's probably going to die by the end of the season.
Which is perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we don't know why LaLa's seeing ghosts, if it's a power, if it's just his guilt, what's with the tattoos. Like we don't know anything about it.
They've got a lot to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they necessarily tie up the storylines is one thing, but they've got what 85 minutes and they've got a lot to explain.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, because I don't mind some things not being. I don't mind some things not being explained or being left open, but it feels like they have one or of 2 things that they need to wrap up. They either have to wrap up the ASA kids in the pods storyline, or they have to wrap up either Tobias or LaLa.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I feel like you can leave stuff open as long as you seed it for next season. But my fear is they've left so much open right now that they're not going to be able to seed all the open threads for next season appropriately.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give some resolution though going into the next season. I mean, you got to explain something. There's so many things left unanswered at this point that it's just kind of difficult to believe they'll be able to wrap all of this up.
Mm-hmm.
Or seed it for next season.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. We'll see though.
Well, they did officially renew the show. So
yeah, all the
we know it's
renewed. Including Supernatural, that's a whole other story.
I haven't even watched the Supernatural Scooby-Doo thing because on the one hand, I'm like, that looks interesting. And on the other hand, I'm like, that is only something you do when you're in season 500 million of a show and you have literally run out of all of the ideas.
I've never seen a single episode of Supernatural, so.
What did you say?
I've never seen a single episode of Supernatural.
Oh, so here's what I will tell you. Here's what I will tell you. Watch the first 5 seasons and then stop.
Which is exactly what they should have done. They should have enough to get syndication. To me, once they got syndication, it's like you're good, you're golden. Why are we still here? You have no more stories to tell.
Yeah.
Season 5 was a perfect coda for Supernatural, and then they went and just said, okay, let's keep the party going because they want to do it until they're tired of doing it.
And it was also cool when the
that
CW had like all of 5 shows on the air, but now the CW has like 50, 11 shows and not enough hours to show them in.
To where next year they're talking about having a Sunday night lineup. I'm like, look, it must be nice to be white and male and cishet in this world, because I don't know anybody else who could say, well, we'll just keep making shows until they get tired of doing it. Huh?
Right.
You know,
And who gonna get tired of a steady job?
Thank you. Where I got executive producer credits, which means I'm getting more money. Son, come on now.
So ridiculous.
somewhere Mariska Hargitay saying, "Shh, you're messing up my money."
But even with those shows, at least with procedurals, it's a little bit different or with that kind of show, like the Law and Order ripped from the headlines type thing, because they literally take whatever's in the news. And
yeah, exactly.
The real world is so crazy that sometimes you watch those episodes and you're like, I can't believe that this story was actually crazier in real life. They toned it down for this episode.
Exactly.
So it's like, that I kind of understand. Same thing with Grey's Anatomy is like, every time I'm kind of like, oh, Grey's Anatomy has been on for 14 seasons. What else can they do? They always kind of surprise me. But I mean, has Supernatural like not run out of supernatural beings? Are they creating new ones now?
They went so far as to bring God and his sister into this.
But that was my thing too. So I thought Supernatural would be done when they started doing gods and angels, because I'm like, you can't get any higher than that when you start talking supernatural things. Like you can't get any bigger than God.
You would think.
Wait a minute. So, okay, never mind.
Let it out.
So God was a character on the show, and he wasn't the end boss of the show. Like there was more levels.
Yeah. So God, I'm gonna spoil it because fuck it. It's 14.
I'm never gonna watch the show
so God appears actually in season 5. You don't know that it's God though until the very end of the episode, because he appears as this writer who's writing the story of Sam and Dean. So he's published these books about the story of Sam and Dean that people are out there buying. Later on, I want to see in season 11 or 12, he shows back up because his sister is there to wreck shop. And so they go looking for God because they feel only God can stop his sister, but God's not interested in stopping his sister because God's on sabbatical. And it's just as ridiculous
what?
Ridiculous as you hear me saying. That's as ridiculous as it was.
I don't understand. Okay. Look, when you said there were 14 seasons of this show, my brain automatically goes, I missed the boat. So you don't have to worry about spoiling it for me, first of all. Second of all, this is the most confusing shit I've ever heard in my life. And that just confirms that I will never watch the show ever.
I even tried to catch up. I finished season 11 and I was like, I don't. Because each season is like either Sam dies or Dean dies. Sam dies or Dean dies. It's just like, and no one stays dead. So it's like, there's no stakes. Even if you die, you're going to be back. So what the fuck do I care anymore?
I just can't. I cannot with that show. It's like, it's like, why are we still here with these two men? Why? Aren't there some other mediocre white boys they want to make a show about at this point?
I mean, there seems to be an infinite supply.
Is Sam Worthington busy?
I mean, because, we said this when you...
I'm kidding.
Like, LaLa Supplier looked like a Dollar Tree Jared Leto, so, I mean, there's an endless supply.
Look, they got a basic boy over there on that show Sirens that I watch and I'm pissed about because I was excited when I saw the trailer last year. And then they dropped it. I'm like, okay, they got all these people of color, but they're just there as window dressing.
Oh, that's
bait switch shit.
I got excited. Well, then
so they have a black mermaid, but she's been captured and is being tormented. And basically the story is centering around her white sister trying to find her.
Oh, yeah. I got that from the preview. I was like, oh, it's going to be about. But also, I read the books. So I read the book that it's based on. So I knew it was about the white girl.
But when they dropped the trailer last year, they made it seem like it was going to be about this black girl trying to break out a la Splash. Because that's all they showed was her interacting with this Asian guy. I'm like, oh,
That's all.
color.
Yeah, that's all I saw related to the show. So I'd have been mad as hell if I'd actually watched that episode.
I watched 2 episodes and I was pissed. I'm like, the fuck is this? And then the guy can't act. That's the other part of it. He's a terrible actor.
Of course he can't. Of course he can't.
We done went off the rails. We
done went so far off the rails. Speaking of other things that were at WonderCon I didn't get to see Sirens. I did get to see Cloak and Dagger. I talked to the cast, and we are totally covering Cloak and Dagger. So if anybody was wondering, we're covering it. Called it.
I'm down. I'm down because I've been looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's Gina Prince Bythewood directed the first episode. She also wrote, directed Beyond the Lights and Love and Basketball. Love her, and the actors are just adorable. Like,
good.
they were so cute together. The main 2 actors. So I know it's going to be really good. I'm really excited. Do you want to read the feedback?
Sure. Liz, hey boo. Straight thoughts. Damn, Vice Principal Thirsty. She looks shook about having to ruin that potential dick appointment. Lance, my word. Jefferson ain't shit for not washing Gambi off before leaving him unattended and without medical care in the secret lair.
Mm-hmm.
LaLa Wild, where's Tobias? And then Michael said,
no, wait, you got it says, where is Tobias? And same.
Michael L. Hi, honey. I'm kind of wanting more screen time for LaLa as he trips with the people he's killed. The acting I agree. The acting in those scenes is fantastic. You are absolutely right.
My thing is, so Tobias does come back next week. That was in the trailer. I mean, is it a Tobias LaLa showdown? Is it a Tobias Black Lightning showdown? Is it Tobias realized LaLa is crazy?
Preview that, they ran while I was watching the episode on the CW. I need them to stop doing that.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Looks like, and this is what I don't get. Why are Black Lightning and Tobias about to fight in the school?
I missed all of that.
They're running at each other in the hallway of the school.
Yeah.
So all that work that Gambi put into deflecting the idea that Black Lightning was Jefferson Pierce just went down the drain.
I just don't know. Like we said, we talked about this already. They have 2 episodes to tie this up, and I don't know where they're gonna go because I also don't want Tobias to not be around anymore.
No, right. No. We got to keep Tobias.
So I kind of don't want the showdown.
He is my problematic fave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I will definitely try and get up the Black Lightning clips as soon as possible because I asked about Tobias. I was like, where, who, when, why, how, and does he have his own separate writer? Because all his lines are flames.
Right.
So I don't want to get rid of Tobias yet. So I kind of want it, but then I also don't want to get rid of, at this point, I don't want to get rid of LaLa either. I'm still mad they got rid of Lady Eve.
I feel like we get LaLa into next season.
Maybe
you don't bring him back otherwise, but
I mean, it is based on a comic book, and villains very rarely actually die in comic books. So if they all ended up, getting handled in some way, but not actually dying, I would be cool with that.
But it's one of those things where LaLa's already died once. So if there's some showdown and he dies again, he can't come back.
And given everything that he's dealing with, I don't see them being able to wrap up what's going on with him in these next 2 episodes and then kill him off.
Exactly.
That's why I think we get LaLa into next season.
They better keep Tobias. That's all I gotta say. I never thought I would love anti-blackness this much. Tobias, man, that dude hates black people, man. It's just ridiculous.
He really does.
Like, I mean, every episode with him in it, I walk away like, this dude really hates black people.
Like, who hurt you, boo?
Right. And the thing is, we know who hurt him. It still doesn't feel justified.
Yo, I was gonna say something. I don't know if I should. Fuck it. With all the stuff that's been going on Twitter lately.
It's late, we tired. Let it out.
Right. All this stuff that's been going on Twitter. He is the black nerd that thinks that people don't like him because he's smart.
No, we don't like you because you a dick.
Right. We don't like you because you hate black people.
He's like, I never understood why people didn't like me.
Why don't the girls like me? They say they want a nice guy. You're not a nice guy. There's this old saying that if you have to proclaim you are something, you are probably not that thing.
I mean, he was a city councilman. It's all I did for you Negroes. Yeah, see, that's the reason
Probably
why
didn't do anything for the Negroes.
Right. That's kind of
He probably got one street name changed to Martin Luther King Boulevard and was like, look at what I did for the niggers.
That's why we don't like you, though. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
I think we covered everything.
We covered everything. Mm-hmm. This is a mess.
Sorry, guys.
This was a sober episode too. That's crazy.
This is what happens when we have technical difficulty.
Yep. And we don't.
I really want to post that Penelope Disick gif in the group.
Look, I hate y'all because I actually had I had to click off of that tab. But I'd be damned if I was going to close it.
Oh, it's still open. It is still open.
It's still there. I'm just not looking at it right now.
She went down
because we had to finish the show.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Y'all ain't shit, yo.
Oh, this is why I don't have children.
Never there was a justified child that grows up to smack her mama. It is just.
It's like my friends have kids and I love them dearly and I see them all the time. But sometimes they do stuff like that, like they fall or they trip. And like my friends are like, oh, and they like pick them up and I'm just in the corner laughing.
I mean, bruh, kids
fall, it's funny.
She is gonna talk about this on a sofa one day. Because not only did it happen, but everyone in the world saw it happen on the internet.
And assholes like me bring it up.
Right. Man, we need to start a GoFundMe for this child's therapy.
I mean, she's in the Kardashian family. Like, I don't think there's a GoFundMe big enough for all the kids.
But you know what? She's gonna be the one that gets away. Like she's gonna be the one we never see again.
And Shanna, you got to keep all this in the show. I'm
not editing nothing. Slapping some music on the front and the back of this, and that's about it.
Oh, Jesus. I'm glad this is behind the paywall. No, this is not behind the paywall.
Nope.
Jesus Christ.
Give it to the masses. Give the people what they want.
Jesus Christ.
Y'all don't know I needed these laughs these last few days.
Okay, we're gonna say goodbye to you guys. You people out there who I'm so surprised are still listening. If you're still here, bless you.
Wait, did D hang up on us?
I am currently watching the GIF or however you want to pronounce it. And,
what? How are you watching
the GIF
podcast?
The GIF. No,
we've been laughing about this.
The GIF of I thought you were watching
That's
The
it.
Gift. Like there's a TV show called The Gift. Like, why are you watching TV?
No. I'm still at work, actually.
Are you watching the on repeat? You ain't shit either.
He's just quiet. He's just being quietly ain't shit while we're being loudly ain't shit.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Goodbye, people.
Bye.
And remember, you have to bring ass to get ass.
Bruh. What does that mean?
I can't breathe. I hate you all. Oh my god, Justin.